Ohai. Turkey, the state in the Western Asia, 97%. And in Southern Europe, 3%. The population minus 83.6 million people, 2021. The area of the territory minus 783,562 km. Also the 36th in territory takes the 19th place in the world on population. Unitary state. A state language Turkish. Modern Turkey was formed in 1923 as a result of disintegration of the Ottoman Empire after her defeat in World War I and the followed National Liberation War of the Turkish people, abolition of the monarchy and creation in the territory of East Thrace, Asia Minor and the Armenian highlands of the Turkish national state. Before becoming the center of the Ottoman Empire, this region throughout history made a considerable part of the ancient states. Hetski Kingdom, Assyria, Urartu, Armenia, Byzantium, Georgia, Colchis and Iberia, Persia, Rome, etc. The industrial country with dynamically developing economy. DDD volume at par purchasing power. PPS. Per capita minus $19610 a year. 2014. In 2014 DDD of Turkey face value was $806 billion. DDD on PPS minus $1508 billion. DDD volume face value per capita minus $10482 a year. Member of NATO since 1952, the Council of Europe since 1949 and also the official candidate for DICS of the European Union since 1999. The name Turkey, applied to the modern Republic of Turkey, comes from Old French Turqui, which, in turn, comes from the medieval Latin Turcia forms. The Ottoman Empire existing in 1299–1922 among her contemporaries also usually was called Turkey or the Turkish Empire. The Russian name of the country, Turkey, was created through the Polish Turkia from New Latin Turcia. Turkey is located in the East Hemisphere. Its area, including internal reservoirs, is 779,452 km. The part of the territory of Turkey minus 97% is located in Asia and 3% in Europe. The peninsula Asia Minor, which she occupies completely, is the main center of the territory of Turkey. The European possession of Turkey carried the name Rumelia. Geographical feature of Turkey, arrangement at the intersection of the important ways, from antiquity connecting Europe to Asia, the Black Sea countries and the people, with Mediterranean. Nowadays through the territory of Turkey the highway and railway lines connecting Europe with many countries of Asia lie. The main part of the territory of the country is the share of Asia Minor, or to Anatolia, and the Armenian highlands, smaller, to the Balkan Peninsula between Black and Mediterranean seas. The maximum extent of the Turkish territory from the west on the east minus 1600 km, from the north on the south minus 600 km. From three parties she is washed by the seas. In the north is the Black Sea, in the west Aegean, in the south Mediterranean. The European and Asian parts of Turkey are separated from each other by the water system which is forming sea pass of the Black Sea and Aegean and including the Sea of Marmara, the Bosphorus Straits and Dardanelles. In the southern part of Bosphorus and the Bay Golden Horn. Sea of Marmara. One of the most beautiful cities of the world and the most densely populated city of Turkey, Istanbul, the former Constantinople, is located. Turkey has 8 overland and 6 sea borders. The note: unrecognized and partially recognized states are italicized. In the territory of Turkey there are more than 100 types of minerals. The country arranges many views of ore, mining and chemical, fuel and energy raw materials. First of all, it is necessary to call chrome, tungsten, copper ores, borata, marble, coal, etc. 25% of a universal reserve of mercury fall to the share of Turkey. Turkey, the country mostly mountain, therefore the climate often has high seasonality. In the central part a continental temperate climate with hot and dry summer and in rather cold winter. On the coast of the Aegean and Mediterranean seas climate Mediterranean with very soft winter. On the Black Sea coast climate sea with a large amount of rainfall and in the cool winter with rare negative temperatures. In the southeast climate subtropical, on temperatures close suitable to tropics, desert with very hot summer. On August 25, 1071 fight at Manzikert. Manzikert, the city in historical Armenia, nowadays in the east of Turkey, in the province Mas. The Turkish Seljuks under Alp Arslan's command inflicted defeat over Byzantines and took prisoner of the Byzantine emperor of the Roman four Diogenes. 1077 Kaniski's emergence. Rumsky. A sultanate, the state of the Turkish Seljuks with the capital in Konya, which gradually expanded the borders almost on all territory of Asia Minor. 1243, the Kaniski Sultanate turned into the vassal of the Mongolian Ilkhan of Iran. Hula Guidav. To 1307 Rumsky Sultanate broke up 2 small principalities. One of them, district of Osmana, which was sent into Aflax, was a kernel of the Ottoman state formed at the beginning of the 14th century. 1284, in the first Spanish chronicle of Historia de España, the King Alfonso X reports about the capital of Ecbatana of the Kingdom of Turquia. In 1299 Othman, the son and the successor Ertugrul, accepted the title Sultan and refused recognition of the power of sultans of Konya. On his name Turks began to be called Ottoman Turks, or Osmanites. Their power over Asia Minor extended and became stronger, and Konya's sultans couldn't prevent it. In 1318 Hula Guida, having overthrown the last Seljuki sultan, destroyed this state. The Byzantine Empire used Ottoman Turks in the wars with the Slavic states of Bulgaria and Serbia. On the lands which were earlier belonging to Byzantium in Asia Minor, Ottoman sultans began to unite other Turkish states under the power, having created in 1326 on the lands won from Byzantines the Turkish Sultanate with the capital in the city of Bursa. On the Balkan Peninsula to the middle of the 14th century in the states of Bulgarians and Serbians, the period of feudal dissociation began that led to their easing and promoted submission to Turks who, having won possession of Byzantium of Asia Minor, began to move ahead on the west. At this time in Byzantium, fierce race for power ran high that allowed Turks to pass to gains on the Balkan Peninsula. Having retained Constantinople in the back, Turks moved on the states of the southern Slavs. Despite terrible threat, Slavic governors couldn't form the military alliance. By the end of the 14th century, Turks occupied all Bulgarian lands. In 1362, Turks headed by the Sultan Murad of I, having won lands in Europe, transferred the capital to the city of Adrianople. Edirne. The European possession of Turkey received the name Rumelia. Xanaces became a support of the power of the Turkish sultans. Serbians and Bosnians tried to stop conquerors. In 1371, Murad crushed army of the southern Serbian princes in fight at the Maritsa River. At Chernomen, took the Macedonian cities Drama, Kavala and Sera, and won a considerable victory over Bulgarians and Serbians in Samokovo. Some of the Serbian and Bulgarian princes were forced to obey to Muradu and to become his vassals. In the 1380th years, Murad resumed the approach in the west. In 1385 Sofia, in 1386 Niš was taken. In Anatolia, Murad expanded the possession to Tokat, and I strengthened the power in Ankara conquered by Orhan. Thanks to marriage of the son, purchase and gains, he got territories of Beylik of Chamianogulara, Karasa, Tekiogara and Hamidogulara. The anti-Ottoman coalition and governors of Anatoliski Beylik led by Karamanoglulara was broken in 1386 at Konya. In 1387 or 1388 northern Serbian princes stopped Ottomans at Pločnik, but in 1389 Murad and his son Bayezid won at Kosovo. In this fight Murad was killed. On July 15, 1389 on the Kosovo field there was a decisive battle. The strong Turkish army was resisted much by the army of Serbians and Bosnians conceding in number. Connect Milo's Obelix feat when the brave Serbian soldier killed the Turkish Sultan with this battle of a legend of Slavs. But his son, future Sultan Bayezid, hid his death from the Turkish troops, and as a result of battle the Slavic army suffered cruel defeat. On September 25, 1396, the Nikopol battle between army of the Sultan Bayezid Molni Nesni and crusaders headed by the Hungarian king Sigismund under fortress Nikopol in Bulgaria. The victory in battle fixed domination of the Ottoman Empire on the Balkan Peninsula. On July 28, 1402, the Battle of Ankara. Having lost battle to the Emir Timur, Bayezid I Molni Nesni was taken prisoner and died. Arai got poisoned in captivity. However, in 30 years Bayezid's successors could unite again collapsed country and resume advance to the west. In 1453 Turks took Constantinople and made it the capital of the new empire. At Selim Groznym the Ottoman Empire conquered Syria, Arabia and Egypt. The Turkish Sultan deposed the last caliph in Cairo and itself became the caliph. In 1526 there was a Mukaksi fight during which Turks broke the Czech-Hungarian army and occupied Hungary, and in 1529 rose to walls of Vienna. At top of the power in Suleiman's government, magnificent. 1520-1566. The empire stretched from Gate of Vienna to the Persian Gulf, from the Crimea to Morocco. In 1678 Turks occupied territories to the west from Dnieper. On September 12, 1683, the Vienna fight occurred after the Ottoman Empire besieged 2 months Vienna, the capital of Austria. The victory of the troops of Sacred League which came to the rescue Habsburgam forever put an end to wars of conquest of the Ottoman Empire in Europe. The era of the Russian-Turkish Wars, covering the period lasting 242 years. 1676–1918. 10 military conflicts between the Russian and Ottoman empires in the 17th–19th centuries. Military operations in Transcaucasia during World War I can be considered the 11th Russian-Turkish War. The Russian-Turkish Wars became one of the main reasons of decline and disintegration of the Ottoman Empire. 1299–1923. In the 19th century, on the outskirts of the empire, separatist sentiments amplified. It began to lose the territories gradually. Weakening, the Ottoman Empire tried to rely on the help to Germany, but it only involved her in World War I, which ended with defeat of the Fourfold Union. On October 30, 1914, the Ottoman Empire officially announced the introduction in World War I, a day before it having actually entered her firing of the Black Sea ports of Russia. On April 24, 1915, in Istanbul, there took place Massachusetts arrests of the Armenian intellectual, religious, economic and political elite. This day is considered the beginning of genocide of Armenians in the Ottoman Empire, during which from 1915 through 1918, as a result of actions of the Turkish authorities, died, by various estimates, from 1.5 million to more than 2 million Armenians. The Republic of Turkey and an official Turkish historiography still deny the fact of genocide of Armenians. On October 30, 1918, a Madrowski truce which the Sèvres peace treaty followed. On August 10, 1920, which didn't come into force as it wasn't ratified by all parties which signed it, was called. It is ratified only by Greece. Under this contract, the Ottoman Empire had to be dismembered, and one of the largest cities of Asia Minor, Smyrna, was promised Greece. The Greek army took him on May 15, 1919. Then the War of Independence began. The Turkish nationalists led by Mustafa Kemal refused to recognize the peace treaty and by the armed force expelled Greeks from the country. By September 18, 1922, Turkey was freed from conquerors. The Lausanne Peace Treaty of 1923. On July 24, recognized new borders of Turkey. On October 29, 1923, the Republic of Turkey was proclaimed, and Mustafa Kemal, who accepted subsequently a surname Ataturk, the father of Turks, became its first president. Mind. 1938. December 1925, Turkey passed from Muslim chronology to a Gregorian calendar. On July 18, 1932, Turkey entered the League of Nations. On February 18, 1952, Turkey joined NATO. In November 1956, as direct result of Suez crisis, Syria signed the contract with the Soviet Union. It became a point of support for the Soviet influence in the government in exchange for military equipment. Turkey was concerned about this increase in power of the Syrian armed forces, as it seemed possible that Syria will try to select Iskenderun. Only a hot debate in the Union suspended threat of war. On July 20, 1974, Turkey sent the troops to Cyprus. On September 12, 1980, in Turkey there was a military coup under the leadership of the General Kenan Evren. On October 3, 2012, the conflict with Syria began. On July 15, 16, 2016, a part of the Turkish soldiers made an attempt to commit a military coup in the country. On April 16, 2017 in Turkey, the referendum on the constitutional amendments, in which it was told about expansion of powers of the president, about increase in seats in parliament, reforming of the judicial system and abolition of a post of the prime minister took place. 51.4% voted for the amendment. The population of the country, Turks. At the time of the Ottoman Empire, these people used the self-name Ottomans. According to the first population census, in 1927, 13,464,564 people, from whom 2,323,359 Kurds, Circassians, Bosnians and others lived in the Republic of Turkey. In total in the country 12 censuses are conducted. Since 1927 the population of Turkey grew by 4.4 times, and only from 1950 to 1985, by 2.5 times. Rapid growth of the population, which exceeded 70 million people in 2005, remains an important problem of the country. The sources and specify 2038 days. For 2009 the population of Turkey was 72.6 million people, population density 88 people/km. The share of urban population of 75.5%, its share of the competent population is more senior than 15 years of 88.1%. Concentration of the population of the country increases in the main towns. In 1990 Province. Istanbul and Ankara focused 18.4%, in 2010, 24.5%. Along with it there is a reduction of population in the east of the country, especially in the northeast. The population northeast Anatolia in 1990 was 235,000 people, in 2009, 220,000 people. Distribution of inhabitants across the territory of Turkey extremely unevenly. Coasts of the Marble and Black Seas and also the areas adjacent to the Aegean Sea are most densely populated. The most densely populated city, Istanbul, the most sparsely populated area, Hakkari. The number of Azerbaijanians in Turkey is Kurd people. Azerbaijanians in Turkey are well integrated into society, generally because of cultural and language proximity between Azerbaijanians and Anatolian Turks. Nevertheless, there are essential differences in the sphere of religion. Azerbaijanians generally Shiites, Anatolian Turks generally Sunnites. Armenians. The indigenous people in Turkey living in the territory of historical Western Armenia. At the beginning of the 20th century made about 20% of the population of the country and were concentrated generally in east provinces of the Ottoman Empire where made most of the population. However, after genocide of Armenians practically all were exterminated, either expelled, or Islamized and assimilated. Today in Turkey there live from 120 to 300,000 Christian Armenians, mainly in Istanbul. The number of Muslim Armenians is estimated approximately at Kurd. According to some information, in the country, besides official statistics, can contain to 10 million crypto-Armenians, the vast majority of the Armenian diaspora. 10 million people. And not less than a half of the population of the Republic of Armenia are descendants of refugees from the territories which are a part of modern Turkey. Assyrians, the indigenous people in Turkey professing Christianity. In the southeast of modern Turkey, along borders with Syria and Iraq, at the beginning of the 20th century there lived hundreds of thousands of Assyrians, from whom over a third were killed during the genocide of Assyrians organized by the authorities of Turkey. Greeks, the indigenous people in Turkey professing Christianity. The main population of historical Byzantium, which was compactly living in the territory of modern Turkey before genocide of Greeks at the beginning of the 20th century. According to estimated data, prior to World War I, in the territory of modern Turkey there were about 2.7 million Greeks. Greeks made 60% of the population on the Anatolia coast of the Aegean Sea, including the city of Izmir. Most of the population on the coast of the Black Sea, and also an impressive part of the population of Istanbul, in Greek Constantinople. On all peninsula of Asia Minor the share of Greeks at the beginning of the 20th century made up 20%. From the total number of Greeks, 2/3 were killed during genocide of Greeks, the others are deported from the country. A significant amount of Muslim Greeks lives in modern Turkey. Kurds, the Aranoyasishni people practicing mainly Islam. On a census of 1927 in Turkey there were 2,323,359 Kurds. From the general population of the country, 13,464,564 persons. In Turkey many decades the population Oturchivani policy was pursued. Therefore to count the number of ethnoses, even approximately, happens very difficult. My different estimates of Kurds in Turkey from 10 to 23% of the general population of the country, 8.13 million. Data of Ethnologue for 2014. Also live they in large numbers on all territory of the country, and in absolute majority in the east. According to CIA for 2016, Kurds make 27% of the population of Turkey. A large number of the Crimean Tatars, estimated from 500,000 to 5 million. Which bulk moved to Turkey after annexation of the Crimea to the Russian Empire, and continuing to move to this country throughout 18th, 19th and 20th centuries lives in the country. In the country there are a lot of natives of the North Caucasus, generally descendants of the mountaineers deported after the Caucasian War. They are called the general name by Circassians, the majority of whom Adi and also Abazans, Abkhazians, Nogais, Karachays and Balkars, the Dagestan people, Ingushs, Ossetians, Chechens. The total number is about 3 million people. Turks, the main people of Turkey-speaking language of Agaski group of a Turkic branch of the Altai language family, practicing Islam. Ancestors of Turks, Anoguze, intruded in the central part of modern Turkey in the middle of the 11th century from the Agaski state, which was in the territory of modern Kazakhstan. On May 29, 1453 Turks captured at Greeks Constantinople, nowadays Istanbul. In 1927 13,464,564 people, from whom the majority there were Turks, lived in Turkey. In modern Turkey there are Kurd people from whom from Kurd to Kurd consider themselves Turks, from 62% to 74%. According to CIA for 2016, Turks make 75% of the population of Turkey. On religion, Turks, Muslims, the most part Sunnites of Hanafitski madhab, smaller Alevis. Besides, in the southeast of Turkey more than 1 million Arabs compactly live. Manholes and the Hamshenis living in the basic on east coast of the Black Sea, nowadays when per ethnographic groups of Turks the source isn't specified 251 days along with the wandering Uruka and Taktada. Jews of Turkey, whom in Turkey about 0.1% of the population, live in the large cities. Also through the whole country there live Albanians, Georgians, Azerbaijanians, Uzbeks, Tatars and representatives of a great number of other people, generally in Istanbul, Izmir, Ankara and other large cities. In Turkey the religion is legislatively separated from the state and the freedom of worship is guaranteed to each resident of the country. Most of the population of the country practices Islam of Sunni sense. Hanafitski madhab and Maturidism. Islamic brotherhoods, tariqas are also extremely developed. Tariqas of Naqshbandi and Mavlevi are generally developed. There are followers of Shafi'i madhab, generally Kurds. A large number of mosques -78000 works. (321) communities of various Christian rumors and the directions, 36 Judaic synagogues are registered. The Christian communities include 90 arrivals of Orthodox Constantinople Patriarchy. 75 in Istanbul, 8 on the island of Jokheda, 6 in Hataysilt, 1 on the island of Bozhada. 55 communities Armenian Gregorian. 45 in Istanbul, 7 in Hatay and on 1 in Mardin, Diyarbakir, Kayseri. 60 communities of Assyrian Nestorians, Orthodox Bulgarians, Arabs and Catholic Armenians, 52 communities of various Protestant directions. Besides, a part of Kurds in the east of the country practice syncretic religion and are called as Yazidi. In Turkey for 2014 there are 9 cities with the population over 1 million people. Istanbul 13,710,512. Ankara 4,630,735. Izmir 3,401,994. Versakard. Adana 1,636,229. Gaziantep 1,438,373. Konya 1,107,886. Antalya 1,073,794. Kayseri 1,004,276. Diyarbakir 920,366. Mersin 915,703. Eskişehir 659,924. Political control Ilim is exercised by the governor. Vali. Appointed by the government. The residence of the governor is called the Vilayet. Vilayet. From here and the former term designating the province. As a rule, or carry the same name, as their administrative centers which are also called by the center or the central region. Markaz. But from this rule there are exceptions. Ahate. The administrative center, the city of Antakya. Kocaeli. The administrative center, the city of Izmit. And Sakarya. The administrative center, the city of Adapapari. In 1926 Turkey was divided into 57 fir trees, in the 1939 Tatay is attached, in the 1947 Arpin, Tunceli, Karaköy. Nowadays Binghal. Bitlis and Hakkari, in the 1953rd, Ashik, in the 1954th, Sakarya and Adiyaman, in the 1957th, Nevshik are created. From 1957 to 1989 the number of fir trees remained to constant -67. In 1989 are created Akirikal, Karaman, Baybert and Aksaray, in 1990 Debatment and Chernik, in 1991 Barton, in 1994 Igdir and Ardakan, in 1995 Yalova, Karabiuk and Kilis, in 1997 Osmanai, in 1999 Diadi. The flag of Turkey represents a red rectangular panel with a white half moon and a star in the center. The flag width relation to its length makes 2:3. Turkey has no officially approved coat of arms. Instead of it, the semi-official emblem is used. It represents a red oval. In it the half moon and a star, as on a flag, are located. On the top edge of an oval the official name of the country in Turkish is written. The legislature belongs to unicameral parliament, to the Büyük Millet Meclisi, consisting of 600 deputies elected for 5 years. Till 2007, for 7 years. A universal direct vote on the system of proportional representation. The minimum threshold for parties is established at the level of 10%. Earlier the head of state, the President of the Republic, Cumhurbaşkanı. It was elected the Grand National Assembly for a period of 7 years. I carried out representative functions. Executive power belonged to Ministerial Council. Bakanlar Kurulu, headed by the Chief Minister, Başbakan. The constitutional supervision over executive and legislature carries out the Constitutional Court. Anayasa Mahkemesi, consisting of 11 constants and 4 variable dicks appointed by the President and judicial boards of lower instances during difficult and quite often tangled negotiations, votes and consultations. The Chairman of the Constitutional Court, since October 2007, is Hashim Kalic. On October 21, 2007 in Turkey there took place the referendum on amendments to the existing constitution. Amendments changed an order of election and a term of office of the President and also a term of office of Parliament. Under the Constitution of 1982 the head of state, the President, was elected by Parliament. The President was elected for a period of 7 years and couldn't be re-elected. According to amendments, the head of state is elected by national vote for a period of 5 years with a possibility of re-election for 1 term. Parliamentary elections take place in 4 years. In power there is Conservative Party of Justice and Development. On September 12, 2010 one more referendum on amendments to the constitution of the country was held. 58% of voices for and 42% citizens of Turkey made changes to the basic law. These changes are intended to deepen process of democratization of the country. In particular, influence of army on political and public life is even more limited. The role of military courts will be considerably reduced, and the legal immunity of organizers of a military coup of 1980 will be cancelled. Besides, the number of members of the Constitutional Court of Turkey will increase from 11 to 17. On April 16, 2017 in Turkey, the referendum on the constitutional amendments, in which it was told about expansion of powers of the president, increase in seats in parliament and abolition of a post of the prime minister, took place. 51.41% minding 48.59% voted for the amendment. Turkey became the presidential republic. In 2000, the Republic of Turkey acquired the official status of the candidate country index of the European Union. The member of NATO since 1952. The American expert F. Hill notes that Turkey is an important regional player and considers himself independent of the West in spite of the fact that enters into some Euro-Atlantic organizations. Turkey tries to create around himself an extensive zone of influence, economic and political cooperation, accepting problems on the borders and in the neighboring regions. She gained high economic potential and seeks to become the leader of the former Ottoman space. The Caucasian region, one of the most important points of foreign policy of Turkey, which the Minister of Foreign Affairs Mevlut Çavuşoğlu seeks to construct on the slogan, strategic depth, and on theories of soft power and interdependence. The Russian-Turkish diplomatic relations were established in 1701 when in Istanbul the embassy of the Russian kingdom opened. No bilateral interstate ties contain more than 5 centuries, historians reckon, from the message of the Prince Ivan III on trade sent on August 30, 1492 to the Ottoman Sultan Bayezid II. Now Turkey conducts with the European Union negotiations on the introduction in this political and economic education. In 1963 Turkey signed with the predecessor of the European Economic Community, the contract which the right of the country to enter into alliance admitted. In 1978-1979 Turkey invited to enter EEC together with Greece, but she refused. After a military coup of 1980, Europe stopped a relationship with Ankara, and negotiations were resumed only after 1983. Nevertheless, at the summit of 1997 of the EU refused to recognize Turkey as the candidate for the accession to the EU. She acquired the right only in 2000, provided that the country, in particular, reforms the legislation on protection of human rights. In August 2002 the program of reforms was approved by Parliament of Turkey, and in October 2004 the European Commission recommended to begin negotiations on the entry of Turkey into the EU. The Turkish and European relationship is complicated by unwillingness of Turkey to recognize Cyprus, which in May 2004 entered the European Union. The Cypriot conflict in particular, being the main reason counteracting the Turkish introduction in the EU, can't find the solution since 1974. In 1974 Turkey occupied a northern part of the island, and since then her government doesn't recognize legitimacy of the government as southern, the Greek part. The Kurdish question is also one of key at discussion of further European integration of Turkey. Europe demands bigger regionalization and autonomism of Kurds and also observance of their rights according to the European standards. Also, the reason that the European Union refuses to accept Turkey to the members of the EU is the condition put by France, which the Turkish government refuses to carry out, namely recognition of genocide of Armenians of 1915 in the Ottoman Empire. One of the main problems of domestic policy of Turkey is made by fight of Kurds for independence. Among Turks there is a popular belief that this war is supported by the West on purpose after creation of independent Kurdistan to get access to the oil reserves reconnoitered in this region. which aren't developed owing to the existing international agreements now. The industry share in national economy makes about 28%, agriculture -15%, constructions -6%, services sectors -51%. For 2018, Turkey takes the 18th place in the world on economic power. Since January 1, 2010, the so-called New Turkish Lira, TRY-ITL, 2 = 100 TRY, IKR, is withdrawn from circulation, and the Turkish Lira, TL, of the same face value is entered. Old money was accepted for payment till December 31, 2009. It is possible to exchange notes in the central bank of the country and Ziraat banks within the next 10 years, e-coin, only until the end of 2010. Since January 1, 2020, the minimum wage in Turkey makes 29.43 Turkish liras. Gross. Euro 442.17. And 2,324.70 Turkish liras, net. Euro 349.17. In the total amount of industrial production, manufacturing industry has the largest weight. 84%, including construction. The textile, tanning, food, chemical, pharmaceutical industries, power, metallurgy, shipbuilding, automotive industry and production of household goods are developed. Dynamically developing industry is tourism. From the most dynamic industries, it is possible to allocate automobile, plus 9.6% in 2005, and chemical industry, plus 7.2% in 2005. On December 13, 2018, the President of Turkey Tayyip Erdogan officially founded the Space Agency of Turkey, SAT, which will be financed from the state budget. At the country is present several airlines operating as within the country and at the international level. In view of a large number of tourists in Turkey, there is a developed system of public transport, bus network and a subway since 1996. Also, there are several ports, a railway system, including one high-speed line, and oil pipeline networks. In Turkey, tourist service and infrastructure is well developed. It is connected with existence of sea resorts and also with a variety of sites. In 2017, Turkey takes the 27th place on the volume of foreign trade. Export was estimated at $166 billion, import $214 billion, negative balance of foreign trade $48.6 billion. In structure of export, finished goods, including cars, transport and the equipment, up to 33%. Products of light industry, including clothes, footwear, 18.2%. Metals and alloys, including steel and a higher, 11.6%. Chemical products, including tires and plastic, 8.8%. Prevail. Also, gold and jewelry, various agricultural goods are exported. Fruit, nuts, grain, tobacco. Main buyers: Germany 10%, Great Britain 6.1%, Italy 5.6%, UE 5%, Europe 5.4% and USA 5.3%. Share of Russia of 1.9%. The country imports mainly machines, electronics and spare parts. 22.6%. Metals and alloys, 13.5%. Vehicles, 11%. Gold, 8%. And also agricultural and chemical raw materials. Cheap suppliers. China 11%, Germany 10%, Russia 6.2%, Italy 5.3%, USA 5.3%. As of 2017, the country takes the 29th place by the size of an external debt of $429.6 billion. The most popular sport is the soccer. Armed Forces of Turkey. A set of the troops of the Republic of Turkey intended for protection of freedom, independence and territorial integrity of the state. As of 2006, the number of the Turkish army was 5,148,500 people. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.